Get connected. Hello, 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 everyone. This is Sherry Jones of Sherry Speaks Life here with the Speak Life Moment show. And tonight we're going to talk about remember the golden rule. We're all been taught about the golden rule all of our lives. That's what our parents teach us, that we should treat others as we want to be treated. But tonight, we're going to talk about the golden rule and how it relates to creating boundaries and building healthy relationships. The golden rule is much more than just something your parents told you to do and something your teachers told you to do and something that was drilled into your head all of your life ever since you were a little person. There is a purpose for the golden rule. And living by the golden rule is possible. I know you might be saying, really, Sherry? Can you really live by the golden rule? You can live by the golden rule. It's important to live by the golden rule. And for those that do not know, the golden rule actually comes from a Bible verse. And that Bible verse is Matthew 7:12. And I'm sharing the English Standard Version. It says, so whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets. So the Lord is telling us in Matthew's, this is New Testament. For those people that will say, well, that's the Old Testament thing. We don't need to do that now in the New Testament. This is a New Testament scripture, Matthew 7:12. And it's saying that whatever you wish that others would do to you, then you need to do also to them. So we are to treat people the way we want to be treated. Would you want someone to talk to you derogatory? Would you want someone to hurt your feelings and be nasty and rude to you? I would think not. Then you should not do that to other people. Even looking at the issues that we have right now with race relations. If those people that were racist and thought negative things towards someone of another race actually took the time to think about whether they would want to be treated that way, I think it would stop them in their tracks. I don't think you would want someone to call you a derogatory term. I don't think you would want someone to judge you by how you look. I don't think you would want someone to stop you from different rights just because of how you look. So if we take the time to remember the golden rule, we can build healthy relationships. And I see we have Monique on Instagram. Thank you so much, Monique, for tuning in. For my Facebook fam, I cannot see who's on until you make a comment. So if you make a comment, I can shout you out. But thank you for tuning in. So we're talking about the golden rule and how important the golden rule is to creating boundaries. All this month, we are talking about creating boundaries. And the creating boundaries is based on a chapter in my book, Speak Life Moments, A Transformational Journey. And it's actually day 5 where I talk about creating boundaries. And so this week is when I want to talk about how the golden rule plays into creating those boundaries. And so the first point that I want to make is that you set the standard for how you will be treated. Just as the golden rule tells us, treat others the way you would want to be treated. And so sometimes people treat us in a bad way, and I'm not saying that it's our fault. It's not our fault. It's not based on anything that we did. But sometimes we allow people to continuously treat us badly, to continuously treat us in a negative light. But we have the power to set the standard for how we want to be treated. If you do not accept negative treatment and you tell that person, look, you're not going to treat me that way. and you also demonstrate the way that you want to be treated, then you can stop some of that negativity that comes your way, some of that negativity that bombards your life. So if you realize that you have the power to set the standard, it's not a standard that should be set by anybody else. It's not a standard that should be set by the people around you. It's an internal standard that you need to set. And if you set that standard by the golden rule, that you will treat others how you want to be treated, and you will not allow them to treat you any way other than the way that you want to be treated, then you have the capability to set those boundaries. Create those boundaries. Stop that person in their track when they are treating you in a derogatory way. Stop them in their tracks. Tell them, no, that is not acceptable. This is the standard that I have for how I want to be treated. These are the expectations that I have for anyone that's in relationship with me. And if you do that, then you can create those boundaries and you can live by the golden rule. Don't let people treat you any kind of way. Stop them from treating you any kind of way at the first offense. Because a lot of times we let people do stuff and we say, okay, well, they didn't mean it, or we give them excuses. Then they do something again, and then we want to give them more excuses. And then by the third time, we're like fed up, we're angry, we blow up at them. Then it becomes this big thing, and we're like, 3 strikes, you're out, I'm done with you. But if you would have stopped the behavior from that one incident, that first time they were disrespectful, that first time that they did something that they weren't supposed to do, then you would have been able to create that boundary, and you wouldn't have gone through all of that situation with them treating you any kind of way. It's the same thing with our children. When our children do something wrong, we stop them in their tracks. But if you don't, if you think it's funny, think it's cute, maybe your child talks back to you. The first time they talked it back to you, you're like, that's so cute. Don't do that no more, but that's cute. Then the second time they talk back to you, you're like, okay, I'll give them another pass because, they don't know any better. But they don't know any better because you haven't taught them any better. And then by the third time they talk back to you, it's out of control. And you're upset and you're frustrated and you're saying they're disrespectful children. But if you didn't teach them and you didn't stop them that first time they disrespected you, and taught them that that was not the way that you were going to be treated, and taught them that was not acceptable, then they think it's okay. And that is the problem. I mean, getting on another thing, but that's kind of the problem with some of our parent-child relationships. We do not set those boundaries. And we let our children do and say anything. And then when it's out of control, we want to do something about it. That's too late. You have to stop it the first time. And then my second point for remember the golden rule is, how do you treat yourself? Now, this is a big one. Okay. And if you're enjoying this so far, if you're watching live or watching a replay, please share this broadcast with other people that would receive this message. But number 2, how do you treat yourself? The golden rule says to treat people how you want to be treated. And sadly, that's not always the way that we treat ourselves. You wouldn't want someone to treat you how you treat you. We're disrespectful to ourselves. We're abusive to ourselves. We say all kinds of negative things to ourselves. We treat ourselves badly. Is that really how you want to be treated? No. We all want to be loved. We all want to feel worthy. We all want someone to let us know how wonderful and great and beautiful we are. But we don't always do that for ourselves. And so if we don't treat ourselves well, how can we set the standard, with my first point, of how we want other people to treat us? We must make sure that we are treating ourselves well so that we can truly show other people how we want to be treated. I'm not going to allow you to treat me any different than I treat myself. And I'm going to treat myself well. That is the message that we should be sending forth. So you may be saying, well, Sherry, what if I'm treating myself badly? What can I do? That's what I'm all about here with Speaking Life. We have to speak life to ourselves, not death. So every negative thought that you have about yourself, counteract it with a positive, because that negative thought is most likely a lie. If you're thinking to yourself, I'm ugly, I'm unattractive, that's a lie. You are beautiful. Why? Because God made you. You may not fit the standard of beauty that's in this nation or in this world. You may not, be a fashion model size, or you may not have long hair down your back, or you may not be the skin tone that you think you're supposed to be or that you think is beautiful. But God took his time to create you exactly the way that you are. And there are people in this world that will find you beautiful. There are people that wish they look like you. All of the negative things that you feel about yourself, there's someone else that feels worse about themselves and wish they were like you. So we have to stop the negative thinking, stop the negative mindset. As soon as that negative word comes to your mind, nope, I'm dismissing you. I'm casting you to the pits of hell. And I'm going to say something positive about myself. So with the example, those days that you don't feel attractive, those days that you feel ugly, those days that you feel like, oh, I've gained this much weight and I've done this and I've done that. Those are the days that you need to say, no, I'm beautiful. God created me wonderfully and fearfully. I'm a child of God, and that makes me beautiful. Okay. So let's think about how we treat ourselves. We want to treat ourselves well. We want to treat ourselves according to the golden rule. Treat yourself the way you want to be treated, not the way that you're currently treating yourself if you're treating yourself badly. But treat yourself with love. Treat yourself with compassion. And that's the way to set the standard for how others treat you as well. And then my last point is you have to give what you want to receive and accept nothing less. So we're talking about the golden rule. We want people to treat us how we want to be treated. But how are we treating other people? Are you treating other people kindly? Are you uplifting people? Are you encouraging people? Are you supporting people? Is that how you live your life? You want to give what you want to receive. If you want to receive love, you have to give love. If you want to receive support, you have to give support. If you want to receive encouragement, you have to give encouragement. So give what you want to receive. And then the other part of that is accept nothing less. Accept nothing less than what you want to receive. and what you give. So if you're giving love, if you're giving encouragement, if you're giving support, then expect to receive that back. And if there's someone in your life that is not giving you those things, then they may not need to be in your life. Or if there's someone that, you have to deal with, like maybe a family member, you just need to explain the boundaries to them, what you will accept and what you won't accept, and that you will not communicate with them unless they adhere to your boundaries. And if they won't do that, then you'll have to limit your interaction with them. And sometimes that's hard. But as we talked about in the first week of this month, you can say no. No is a complete sentence. You can create boundaries by saying no. So never feel like you have to accept less than your worth. Never feel that you have to accept less than what you're giving. Make sure that you're giving that love. Make sure you're giving that support, that encouragement. Make sure you're giving it. Then you can expect to receive it. And in those instances where you're not receiving it, you have the right to demand to receive it or alter your interaction with that person. Like my mom used to say, treat them with a long handle spoon. Sometimes you have to treat people with a long handle spoon. That means they may still have to be in your life. You still have to have interactions with them, but you can keep your space. You can keep your distance. You don't have to be their best friend. You don't have to be all buddy. You can be respectful. But sometimes when you have that person in your life that you can't just dismiss, you can't just, toss them away. They're in your life, but you have the power to treat them with that long handle spoon, to demand those boundaries and to let them know, hey, if you're not going to respect those boundaries, then, we have to be a little further apart. We can't be, as close as we used to be until you agree to accept the boundaries that I have set. So that is how living by the golden rule can help us set boundaries and have healthy relationships. Okay. Just to recap my points, I love to recap, make sure everyone understood. And if you're watching this now and you're watching on the replay, please give me a hashtag replay. Please feel free to share this broadcast. But we're going to just recap our points briefly. Number one was you set the standard for how you will be treated. No one else can set that standard but you. You have the power in your hands to demand how you want to be treated. Then our second point, how do you treat yourself? You want to make sure that you're treating yourself well so that you can show people how to treat you. You have to treat yourself the way you want to be treated. Not necessarily the way you're currently treating yourself, because you might not be treating yourself very well. You may be abusive to yourself. You may be saying negative things to yourself, but you want to treat yourself well. And one way to do that, we talked about speaking life to yourself. When those negative thoughts come to your mind, contradict them with something positive. And then lastly, our last point was give what you want to receive and accept nothing less. You got to give it in order to receive it. You got to dish it out in order to bring it in. So if you want love, support, encouragement, hope, you want someone cheering you on, you want someone pushing you to be great, then you have to do the same for someone else. You have to give that love to someone else in order to receive that love. And then you have to accept nothing less than what you want to receive. And you have the power to tell someone that is not giving you what you need that they need to adhere to your boundaries, or the relationship is not going to be as close as what they would like it to be. You have that power to set those boundaries. Okay. And so I would like to end our broadcast by sharing the affirmation from Speak Life Moments Transformational Journey. We've been going over day 5, which is creating boundaries. And so I have the affirmation up there. And it says, I will surround myself with relationships that uplift and edify me. I have the power to set boundaries and show people how to treat me. I will no longer accept less than my worth. So that is the affirmation that we have been talking about and sharing every day this month of creating boundaries. So let's repeat that one more time. I will surround myself with relationships that uplift and edify me. So if the relationship is not uplifting and edifying you in some way, it may not be a relationship that you need to have. I have the power to set boundaries and show people how to treat me. That's what we talked about today with the golden rule. And I will no longer accept less than my worth. You are worthy. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of encouragement. You are worthy of support. You are worthy of all of those things. And you do not have to accept less than your worth. So I hope that you all enjoyed tonight's Speak Life Moment show. I hope that it was a blessing to you. Thanks to everyone that is tuning in. If you're watching replay, again, say hashtag replay. Please feel free to share this broadcast with anyone that you feel would be encouraged by tonight's word. I hope that it was an encouragement and a blessing to you. In the link of the description, I have the link to my, it's a link that will link you to everything Sherry Speaks Life. Okay. You can get your Speak Life checklist, which is 7 ways that you can make speaking life a lifestyle. And when you get that checklist, you will be signed up to my Sherry Speaks Life community, where you'll receive inspirational messages and also exclusive updates regarding things that are going on with me. You'll be the first to know different offers, all those kinds of things if you join the community. You'll also have a link where you can purchase your autographed copy of Speak Life Moments, A Transformational Journey. And then also where you can purchase it on Amazon. That link is on there as well. And then I'm also the host of a podcast, We Are the Church podcast. And We Are the Church podcast is for Christians to encourage us to not just go to church, but to truly be the church. And so there are links, all the links also there for you to listen to the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So all you have to do is click that one link and you'll see little buttons that you can click for all of that information. Okay. And as you see, I have my, hold on, I'm going to try to take this off here. As you see, I have my Speak Life, Christ Correct shirt on. And you can purchase your Christ Correct shirt at the link in the description. And it is to T3 Creations and More. Tina J. Pearson. She used to be Tina J. Stooks, and now she is Tina J. Pearson. I'm so excited about that. And so she created this shirt. see it says politically correct, and then it's scratched out, says no, Christ correct, because we want to be Christ correct, not politically correct. So if you would like to purchase this shirt, click the link in the description of the video so that you can purchase your shirt, created by Tina J. Pearson. And I think you would enjoy it. I think you'll be blessed by it. But thank you all so much for tuning in this evening for the Speak Life Moments show. I appreciate you all so much for tuning in. Again, I am Sherry Jones. I'm your Speak Life midwife. I am a speaker, an author, and a podcast host. And everything I do is to help you learn to speak life, love yourself, and impact the world so you can birth the greatness within. You all take care. You all be blessed. Again, click the link so you can see all things Sherry Speaks Life. You can get your checklist. You can order your books. You can listen to the podcast. Everything you need to know is in that link. And also, if you're interested in getting your Christ Correct shirt, click the link in the description to get your Christ Correct shirt. And you all be blessed. You all take care. And I will be back next week for another Speak Life Moment show. The topic will be, I can show you better than I can tell you. Y'all know that's going to be a good one, okay? So I hope that you all tune in for that episode. But you all take care. You all be blessed. Love you so, so much with the love of Christ. Bye-bye.